What is up, everybody? Welcome to Late Night Gamers Podcast, episode number 145. I'm Nick Personowski, and with me this week and every week is Steve Morgan.
Dude, I'm just like so focused. I'm so focused. I'm laser focused right now.
Tim Madden.
I got a little Lego man here. I'm just gonna.
Oh, it's a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
And Charles Caldwell.
You're gonna lose all your organs.
Charles' wife just lost one of her organs. Didn't lose it. I mean, it was taken away.
Turn traitor.
He found her in a bathtub full of ice, and no, not really. She had her appendix out.
Yep.
It is an entirely
turned
useless
traitor and tried to attack Twin Zombie. It was like stabbed it right in his head.
That's right.
Just imagining like her appendix being like Krang or something, like being a creature.
It pretty much is.
She's
Krang.
actually
Got little like tentacles, like little.
yeah. You didn't know that. You didn't know that Jess had like a little window bubble on her stomach, and they're just like
Quaid.
Quaid. Open your mind, Quaid. One person listening gets that reference, and everybody else is like, "Wow."
You gotta have total recall.
Dana's just like, this is a joke. This is not actually about video games. This is just you guys being retarded.
That's my wife, everybody. Anything else? Any big news before we get into gaming news?
Nah, man. I don't got any fun life things.
Nothing.
No. Me either. All right. Well, something that I just picked up today. Well, first, actually, I think we should talk about this announcement of what the Star Wars Episode 8 title will be.
Yeah.
Because it's officially been confirmed this week, which is a big deal because it comes out in December of this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's on like the December schedule for every year, and so the title has been confirmed as The Last Jedi, which is pretty ambiguous in terms
I've got a theory about why it's called that.
Inform us, Charles.
My feeling is that we've seen a lot of like commentary about how both the Jedi and Sith are morally kind of corrupt. The Sith you can clearly see, but then the Jedi, when you look back at those movies, they're so rigid that it's just kind of like, oh, you can kind of see why he can turn to the dark side, and why it's called The Last Jedi is because it's going to be people using the Force, not necessarily being Jedi, because the Jedi Order will be gone, and it'll just be Force users.
I could see that. I think a lot of people have been talking too about the fact that the title, like they have like when they do the titles now, it says Star Wars, and then they have the title episode in the middle. But this one is in this where it says Star Wars. It's all in red. So a lot of people are theorizing that it's like
Stranger Things, basically.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
It's all going to have synth music.
Yeah. I think like the most obvious thing that everyone was saying is just like, oh, like Luke's gonna die, and then but then it's just like that seems so obvious. But then again, like looking back on the first movie, and granted it's like directed by somebody else, but it was kind of obvious what happened in that movie, so it really wouldn't surprise me if it was just like, yeah, Luke's gonna die, we're gonna tell you, yep, it's gonna happen, like just gonna like show it to you, like no big reveals, because all the big reveals like in the first one were kind of obvious. I guess maybe it's just me, but it's like, oh, okay, someone's like, you clearly knew that like someone was related to Han and Leia, and you clearly knew that someone was gonna die, and it was like really obvious when Han was gonna die. It was like such a dramatic like build up, I don't know. It just felt very like forced. Like all the cliffhangers were forced. So I'm like praying that like it's not like obvious. Like if I go see The Last Jedi and then Mark Hamill dies in it, I'm gonna be like, I knew that in May. Like God, like it's so.
I think Mark Hamill's just gonna get his other hand chopped off.
Mark Hamill's just gonna die in the first 30 seconds of the movie, and then just be like Kurt Russell in executive action or whatever, and just or Steven Seagal just get knocked out.
I think it'd be a great twist if they killed off Rey and then it was just Luke was left. Like, that'd be a better twist. Just tear everyone's heartstrings immediately. But also the other big thing is like since Carrie Fisher died, like I know that they had filmed all her scenes for episode 8 already, but I'm sure they're gonna have to rewrite that somehow.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna like. I'm wondering. So there's like two options. One is that like she's not a vital part to the story in general, and it's like not a big deal, and she's just like whatever. They just won't worry about her. Two is like she's a vital part of the story, and like she dies or something, which would be like best case scenario for them, like because it would be like everyone would want to go see the movie because she dies in the movie and be like a tribute to her. Worst case scenario, she's a vital part of the movie, and she's like now they have to like either just like CGI death her away or try to figure out.
They're just gonna Paul Walker her.
Yeah.
No, actually, they did come out and they said they are not. They have no plans to like recreate her with CG, which is good.
Yeah,
especially if you've seen Rogue One and seen some of the CG characters in that, it was good, but it wasn't great. You know,
it was obvious.
Yeah.
It was way better than any CG's ever been, but
yeah, totally. But it's still obvious.
It was still like okay. I'm not gonna get into the Rogue One thing again, but like they could have done a better job of not like focusing on them. They sort of at first like had like Grand Moff Tarkin sort of like not looking at the camera and sort of just like walking around, and that was good. And then they could
have just kept it like that.
Yeah, and then they kind of like
zoom in like on his pores. Like, it's obvious as you know.
It's like okay.
Why couldn't they have just done what they did with the Emperor forever?
Yeah.
In the originals, and just be like, you barely see any of them.
Yeah, have him all dark and shadowy, and just have like a little bit of him, and just like. Same thing with the Leia. Like it ends with the CGI Leia, and I'm like, what? It was like so. It was like so strange. I'm like, what? Wait, what happened? It was like.
It's like glowing.
I remember at the end she's just smiling, and she's like, "It's like these people died for this," and she's just smiling, and I'm like, what? Like plot twist: Leia's the evil person. Like Leia's the bad guy. She just like kills all these people for these plans. So I was like so disturbed. I really was disturbed by the end of Rogue One. That scene disturbed me. I was just like, what happened right now? It's like this creature, because she's not human. Like it's clear. It's like... So, anyways, yeah, I really hope that like that Carrie Fisher like dies, like intentionally dies, or in some way like so that like because I really feel like they're just like sitting on it. They're like we don't know what we're gonna do. Like wink wink, nudge nudge. Like can't wait for this shit to come out so we can just like show everyone like what we had already planned. But who knows? We'll see. I don't know.
What do you want to bet though? The last movie is gonna be named The Last Sith or something like that.
Oh God. Well, that would yeah. That'd be interesting, man. I like your theory. I do like it. I didn't think of it. Didn't think about that.
I think or it'll be like the first of something, and then they'll be like, "Psych! It's not going to be 9 movies. It's going to be 27 movies."
Yeah, right.
The first Gungan, and then it's like
well,
about Jar Jar.
It's the last of the trilogy, and then they're going to make like 20 other standalone movies.
Yeah. Well,
there's only one Jedi that can save them all, and it's Jar Jar Binks.
Next year we're getting the Han Solo movie, so that'll be good.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully.
Isn't there supposed to be a Boba Fett like movie too?
I don't know. I don't know if that's official.
I thought so.
That'd be pretty sweet. Like an anti-hero Boba Fett before all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I thought that was one of, or maybe the one I thought that was Boba Fett is the Han Solo one, because they're
Han Solo one's like confirmed.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
it's being filmed.
Yeah,
but I think that's as far as we know.
There's a third one though that they
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, there's another like nondescript, non like main storyline movie that's supposed to be made after that, after episode 9 or whatever the next one is.
I think one of them's definitely going to be all about just pod racing. That's it. Just pod racing. And it's basically gonna be Fast and the Furious, but with pod racers. They're gonna CG in Paul Walker into that too.
Gonna get Vin Diesel. He's gonna be an alien,
Yeah.
or maybe he'll just be a character Riddick or something. They'll just merge the two.
It'll be Triple X. It'll be Triple
Xander
X.
Cage stars in Star Wars playing.
So apparently, like the Boba Fett movie was rumored, and and there were some complications to some scenes that they had to like change the director, and so now like it's like kind of in limbo. Like I guess they're not really filming it, but they were. So it was something that they were they were planning on doing. So
That's cool.
now it's likely bumped to 2020. So
Oh damn.
Oh,
well that makes sense
If they
because
do
it's
a Boba Fett movie, they should make it rated R and do it like gratuitous violence like Deadpool.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. I feel like Rogue One was kind of like a step in the right direction, doing like a kind of a dark Star Wars movie. I think it'd be awesome if they did an R-rated, really gritty. But I doubt they'll ever do that.
I feel like that's actually I'm sensing a theme with us age, and basically all of us are 30, and we want all of the movies that we grew up with to be remade or like make sequels that are all gritty. We're talking about Power Rangers. We're talking about Star Wars. Like, I just feel like we're always just like they should just really make a grittier version of this. And I completely agree. I think it would be fantastic.
We need a grittier version of Care Bears.
You know what they should do is
lasers coming out every.
they should remake the episode 1, 2, and 3 and have them not suck. That'd be pretty cool.
Have them not actually be part of the series anymore.
Yeah.
they're just like they're not canon anymore. Here's the real canon.
Yeah.
To be honest, the way things get remade these days, it's completely in game. It's like they made Spider-Man 3 times in the last 10 years.
No, that's
It is insane. And it's like, different Spider-Man, different stories. They have like the general base theme going on
he's
where
a
it's like his
Spider-Man.
grandparents and stuff.
They basically killed Spider-Man for me. Like Spider-Man, the movie that's coming out, is just like, God. Say what you want about the remake that they made after Toby, but at least there was a continuity there, and it seemed like they were continuing, and it was doing okay. But then they just totally made another one, like this boy man child.
I keep hearing that people are excited about Spider-Man the game. It's coming out. I heard that. I haven't looked at it too much, but apparently it's
I don't know. I haven't
supposed
seen
to be
anything about it.
pretty good.
The thing is also like the new movie is like totally tied in with Marvel, so like Iron Man's in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So then
And
it's
that's,
like
that's what makes it so shitty. Is like they had to remake him for Iron Man. They should have just brought Toby back in.
the thing is that oh sure maybe that's true, but that it's gonna sell like a trillion million things because like Marvel is just like
Of course.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
they should do. You know what they should really do is a Spider-Man that's like in his 40s and a grittier version.
You mean like they're remaking Wolverine, Logan?
Yeah.
A grittier version where Charles Xavier has Alzheimer's? No, I'm serious. I'm pretty sure
He's like-
Wait, a guy can read people's mind but forgets things in his own mind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is going to be a plot point in that movie, is that Patrick Stewart is going to be Charles Xavier with Alzheimer's being taken care of by an old Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Okay, it's an interesting plot.
It's like, I have arthritis in these claws. And then Charles Xavier is going to be like, I knew you were going to say that, but then I forgot.
Get out of my head, Charles. Who are you?
Oh, God.
Stop stealing my nuts.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Cover.
In other movie news, Rings is coming out soon.
Oh, I heard
It's
that.
it's like the third Ring movie or whatever. It's a different director. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I saw a commercial for it on TV this week, so I was like, I'll probably go see it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go see it. The Ring 2 or whatever the second one was horrible, but
I had to convince a bunch of people that the Ring 2 is a thing. They're like, no, this is the Ring 2. I was like, no, that happened.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, did it?
Yep.
Did it really?
It did. It was a
Yeah.
thing.
unfortunately, I mean, I wish we could just pretend it didn't, but
Mhm.
it is real.
Yep. I almost wish that we could pretend that Blair Witch, the newest one, didn't exist either.
I never saw
But,
that, so.
But it does.
I don't want to
Also-
pretend because we got to see the witch finally. I got closure.
That closure.
Sure, you get to see the bitch
That is true.
with her long, gangly, everything's like crawling around with her huge, long arms and legs. Pretty creepy.
It was creepy.
Slender.
I think they really should have done more with that basement scene where she was crawling through the tunnel. It was like there was
yeah.
so little that happened down there. I mean, the tunnel just kept getting smaller and smaller, and then she eventually just got stuck. But I feel like that freaks me out. I have I don't like being in small spaces like that. That's terrible. It was like I feel like now I'm afraid of a lot more than what I was when I was a kid. Like when we went to like polar caves or any of those places. These are like places in New Hampshire where you'd go and you'd have to like crawl and squeeze yourself under this rock to get into this like underground like cave thing.
Oh,
And it was like I can't do that anymore.
just thinking about it is making me nauseous.
You wouldn't want to crawl back down into those caves to get a giant slab of ice?
I would do that again. Absolutely.
Just keep pushing our way through the rock.
Charles and I were hiking in it was like June or July or something, and we went up. It was up in the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and we found this this rock cave that it wasn't marked. It was just like we just knew that there were caves around, so we climbed down into it. And we kept climbing down and crawling and climbing down. And Charles and I picked up this giant. It was in the middle of July, and it was like so cold down there that there was still like a 10-pound chunk of ice at the bottom of this cave. Yeah, it was crazy.
And then
So,
we
and then-
threw it at the feet of these tourists who were like, "There's no ice in those caves."
Yeah, they didn't believe us, so we brought it out and we just we literally tossed it at their feet and it like broke apart and they were like, "Oh yeah, that is ice." And then they continued to drink their 6 packs of beer that they had on top of the mountain.
You're jealous now.
We weren't at the time because we were 17 probably. 16. Anyway.
Now I would be.
Yeah.
Like, give me one of those beers for this hunk of ice. You
Last time Charles and I went hiking, we were gonna stay overnight, and literally we're like, I wish I had a beer right now. We should just hike down to the bottom and go get beer.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. We did. We hiked 12 miles, and then we're like, yeah, let's just go back down. And it was really crowded too. Ugh.
And the people
They were
were
like-
awful. If they
were
were
like-
crowded and their people weren't terrible, then maybe, but
Yeah. Nope.
Nah.
Anyway, game news.
Not talking about games.
What are games? What are these games?
So Project Scorpio info has leaked, and it's reconfirming it's the console's power, which it's apparently has a 6 teraflop GPU, which makes that it makes the system 4 or 4.5 times as powerful as the Xbox One, which
4K. Just kidding. Sorry. Just.
intense.
That's how it works, right?
More yeah.
4 times as many Ks.
So I'll be interested to see, if if the system is going to have if you're going to be able to play you might be able to play regular Xbox One games on it, but I feel like any to take advantage of something of that's that powerful. I feel like they'd have to make it specifically for it.
Well, I have a feeling they'll probably do the same thing that they're doing with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Kind of have 2 tiers. So for some, you might have some exclusives for whatever they decide to call the new Xbox, and you might have some games that run both, or some features that only work on the more powerful unit. But
see, I guess I'm just not like really sold yet on the 4K gaming thing. I mean, it's cool, but I'm not. I don't want to throw down another $400 plus buy a new TV. Like it just seems. I don't know. Not yet. And I mean, like I think the graphics on the current consoles look amazing anyway. Like, I mean, looking at like Battlefield 1 and a couple other games and Uncharted, and they're all amazing looking. And I also play a lot of games like the Telltale series, and I'm playing a game knee deep right now, and it's the visual graphics just aren't there, but it's like it's not going to benefit from a 4K TV, and I still really enjoy it because of the story. So
and I think even like the more graphically intense games, like the really beautiful games, a lot of those games get down sampled, so they're not actually running at 1080p. They're running at like 900p or 720p because the console just can't handle it. So when you get these more powerful units, it's probably not even run at 4K. It's gonna have a lot more power, but it's not gonna have enough to run that game at 4K. To game at 4K, you need like a beast. So I mean, I think really the only things you're gonna be experiencing at 4K are like, lesser graphically intense games. Like, I mean, I don't know, but stuff with like cell shading and stuff like that, stuff that's easier to crank out. I just don't think it's gonna have enough power to really do 4K stuff. I just don't think we're there yet.
I feel like the bigger thing is going to be, is it HDR? Is that the other thing that they're? I feel like that's almost, I don't know, more important or leading up to it until they can fully take advantage of 4K. I feel like HDR is right now like so important.
Yeah, I think HDR is cool. It's such a small segment of TVs that support it. It's just so it's not as widespread. 4K is pretty widespread now, and pretty much they're still producing lower resolution TVs, but it's the majority of TVs now are 4K, which is cool. But this still, like, you can't watch TV in 4K. You can watch a handful of shows on Netflix in 4K. It's like the incentive to buy a 4K TV just isn't there. And I guess by making these consoles, it might up that desire, but it's just still.
Thing is, they're still mega cheap. They're just so much cheaper now. Like 4K, like Chinese 4K TV, like 50-inch, $300. Doesn't even make sense. I'm sure the contrast ratio and everything else is like terrible because it's Chinese, but like 4K is like not even really special anymore. It's definitely you're gonna have to pay a little bit more, but it's just absurd like how cheap TVs are. Like you're gonna have to pay like 20% more. It's just absurd. I don't even understand it. I don't really get it.
I really want one of those OLED TVs. That's now that I've seen what TVs can do, it's like, okay, well, do I really want to upgrade now, or do I want to wait until it's like I can just paste it on my wall and it'll be fantastic?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just gonna be expensive as shit. Those ones are mega expensive. They're like, I don't remember what the price tag was, but it was like not a normal like middle class person can afford it. It's absurd.
Like 15
You'd have that and nothing else in your house.
Yeah, it's like back in the day when they had those like $100,000 TVs that were like 100 inches. now they're like, and now it's like trash. You can get it like worst investment ever. Somebody just like wasted like 90K. Like it's like absurd. And this is like 10 years ago. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing these like on like slick deals like 10, 15 years ago. Just be like, God. Anyways.
And people like, and now there are TVs you see on Craigslist. It's like free for anyone that'll take it away.
Yeah.
It's crazy how quickly technology is just like progressing. And I mean, I still find it really hilarious that you can go to Goodwill. We went to Goodwill over the weekend because we donated like a couple bags of stuff because we're gonna be moving, buying a house and moving in the next like 2. We've been going through stuff and trying to reduce the amount of crap that we're gonna bring over. And I went there. I also like to go around Goodwill because every once in a while you do find like good stuff for like NES and Sega Genesis and stuff, and I'll pick up games that way
For like $1 too. So it's
yeah.
super cheap.
Yeah, wicked cheap because they have no idea what they have.
Yeah.
And then they have an entire section. It's like this entire bookshelf full of VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I was like, who still has VHS tapes? Like
My parents.
they don't even make you can't even buy a VCR anymore. I mean, you might be able to, but it's like
Probably have to be special. Yeah. It's probably not. Probably can't go to the store and buy one.
My parents have
It's
a
probably
VCR that's literally older than me, and it still works.
It's one of the
Thing
ones
is
that
at
like
least-
opens, the top opens, you put the tape
Yeah.
in like that.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I had one of those.
Thing is like 35 years old.
So you're saying they have a
That's
4K
nuts.
television?
Huh?
So you're saying they have a 4K television then?
Oh, absolutely.
Got to get all the resolution on that. That's analog, man. Don't fuck around with that shit. Except for then it goes through. I don't really actually know how that works. It still comes out digital at some point. It was analog on the film. Yeah. Damn.
yeah. So I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that. Well, I feel like every time I go, the number of VHS tapes they have just keeps getting larger and larger, and it's like, why do you even put them out? Nobody buys them. Like,
So I'm for
Is
like
there-
10 cents.
I mean, someone must, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of wondering about the theory on like when they start just getting rid of shit at Goodwill. They probably keep things on the shelf for a certain amount of time, and then if it doesn't sell, they get rid of it.
You can melt down the plastic on all those VHS tapes, and
I mean, we're talking about VHS tapes, but I
Statue.
feel that way about DVDs. Like, who
No,
buys
no.
DVDs anymore? Or like past.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's like the Zelda Breath of the Wild, this like collector's edition comes with a CD soundtrack. Like, what the fuck? Like, not that I'm against physical like rewards, because I'd probably prefer that over like a digital soundtrack, which I'd never use. It's just like, where the fuck would I put that CD? Like, my laptops don't have them anymore. Computers don't have them. Cars still have them. I guess.
you just put your CDs on your CD shelf with all your jewel cases. And
It's like you put it in your car, you never remove it because you don't ever have another CD to put in there. So it's like you have your phone to listen to music and then your CD player to listen to your Zelda soundtrack.
Yep. I don't think I've bought like anything apart from video games. I don't think I've bought any physical media in like forever.
Yeah.
I still buy DVDs for $5 sometimes at like Target or Walmart.
Crazy, man.
If they have a really good
Yeah, that's
trashy
true.
movie,
That's true.
I-
I still use my DVDs actually that I have to watch movies. Because I'm usually just too lazy to like go find a place to download it or stream it. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it in my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, we don't,
watch it
like,
anywhere.
You can do, yeah, you can do. I mean, you can do Redbox, but I find that Redbox is like their selection is pretty terrible.
Yep.
For the most part, and so I'll just be like, whatever. I'll spend like, so that it's like $1.50 at Redbox, but And on Amazon it's like $3.99, but on Amazon I don't have to go anywhere to get it.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm lazy. I'm lazy as well. So, all right, okay. I have some gaming news that I should say that I'm sure Tim also probably has some things to say about, which is Blizzard like just released a bunch of shit today. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they did something in WoW. Probably, right? No, because they just had a big patch recently, so maybe they didn't.
Yeah, the first wing of Nighthold for Raid Finder opened up. So
yeah, okay. Well, in Heroes of the Storm and in like Overwatch, they had like a Chinese New Year like big patch. So they have like new skins and they have actually added Capture the Flag to Overwatch, which is kind of like I haven't played it yet. I'm sure it's terrible. I'm assuming it's terrible because the game just isn't like made like that. But we'll see. Maybe it's really good. I don't know. So that came out today, and there's a whole bunch of like new skins and Chinese myth dragons and shit. I hope everything's covered in roosters because that's the year of the roosters. So, so that's pretty big. They also had some pretty big patch changes in Overwatch, like some balances. Like they nerfed a couple heroes pretty big. So
really
interesting stuff. Yeah. I've been real close to Diamond, and then I got crushed this weekend and lost like a shit ton of points. Diamond is like top 25% in the game, and now I'm probably like top 40 or something. It's bad. The game is just toxic. People just grief so hard and competitive. It makes no sense. If you tell them to try, they just give up. They're like, fuck you, I'll just lose. And you're like, why? And they're just like, fuck you. I'm like, okay, guess we lose.
I did see that they added the Capture the Flag mode. I'm just curious how they
have heroes that like run really fast and heroes that can block people off. So I really don't know how it's gonna work without having like May just ice block an entire team off while they're chasing her and then just run and capture the flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't. I feel like it's gonna be really unbalanced. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be mega gimmicky. It's gonna be like some guy. It's gonna be like I have a feeling it's gonna get exploited to fuck. It's gonna be like a May who blocks everyone off, then just like drops the flag to a Tracer with a Lucio and boosts him, and he runs across and captures it like every time and just wins every match that way. But I don't know. Maybe they like did something. I guess the way to combat that is like either like not let people do certain abilities with flags, which is like what a lot of games do, or you have certain maps which sort of like de-incentivize like straight shots or like sneaking and things like that. So you make like the like it very open so you can't block people off, or like you make it sort of like some shortcuts that like you can only get to in one direction, so that way you can like catch people or something like that. So
that makes sense.
But we'll see. I'm not a super big fan. I'm guessing it's not going to be anything like that matters for a long time. Like it'll probably just be some arcade mode. So yeah. I don't know if there's anything else. That's like the only game I've been playing. So it's pretty much Overwatch.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna have a short episode this week anyway, so a baby-sode, an actual baby-sode.
Actual baby-sode.
So Steve, do you have anything else to expand on what you've been playing, or?
Nah, I mean mostly just Overwatch. Just like I said, I've just been really grinding hard in that game, trying to fucking not be a scrub. It's also like one of these things where like your highest record is what you keep at the end of the season, and the season's gonna probably end in a month. So it's just like, it just sucks. It's also got corrective measures, so like if you lose a lot in a row, you just start going down real fast. And same thing the other way around. Like if you win a lot in a row, it starts going up. So I've just been getting beasted pretty bad in the game. But other than that, what else have I been playing? I honestly haven't really been playing too much else. I beat all the other games that I wanted to play, so is there something on Steam that I wanted to play? Let me look at my Steam list. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I've been mostly playing Overwatch, to be honest, and yeah, so that's about it for me.
Nice. Tim, what about you?
I've been bouncing around between a few things. I'll play Overwatch for about 2 or 3 matches before I just get so angry I can't play it anymore, and then doing my dailies and WoW, the old chore game, And like I said last week, I finally beat Pokemon Moon, so I'm at the point now where it's like they have like these post game quests where you go catch the Ultra Beasts, which are like these super powerful Pokemon. But it's one of those things where you have to catch it, then look at the stats, look at all the nature, figure out if it's good or not, and then if it's not good, then you got to reset the game and catch it again until you get one that has like perfect stats. So it's like really, the game has lost all fun at this point. Instead of like setting it until you get like the perfect stats on the perfect. And basically, when every other game has failed, I will pick that up. So far, I actually NES edition, and it's gonna be here Thursday.
Nice.
Gonna give that a go and probably write a review and let you guys know how it is.
That'd be great. I look forward to hearing about that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Charles, what about you?
I've been still playing Shadowfall Dragons. What the hell is it? I can never remember the name of the actual game. Dragonfall. Shadowrun Dragonfall. I think I'm getting close to the end. It's fun. It's like finally gotten to a point where I've been able to unlock enough of the skill tree in order to be able to like do a lot more different things, because I was kind of limited before. So you had your 4 different characters for their different classes, and you've got to hack into stuff. And now I'm actually succeeding rather than dying every couple minutes. So it's got some interesting plot points.
Nice. Nice. Well, I have been pretty much playing a lot of Battlefield 1. I think I just reached like level 40 in the multiplayer or something. I've just been playing, getting ready for the there's DLC. There's a new map pack coming out in March for that. They actually just announced some details on it. It's like They Shall Not Pass DLC, and apparently one of the levels takes place in a forest that's like burning everywhere, because it's based around a battle that occurred where they burned a fort. Like a forest actually burned while they were fighting in World War I. So sounds like it could be fun. I think there's a new mode, and I think the French army is now a new. You can now do that. So you can now be in the French army, which probably means that there's going to be new guns and different other garbage. Which, I mean, it's all the same. So I think right now it's just Italians, Americans, and somebody else. I can't remember who the other ones are, but I've also been playing Knee Deep, which I can't say anything about, but I've been getting ready to write the review. It comes out on January 31st for PlayStation 4 and February 3rd on Xbox One. So yeah, so check that out whenever that comes out. We'll have some new stuff up. We've been having a lot of new stuff up recently, so check out our website when you do, lngamers.com. But I think that's the end of the podcast. So thank you everybody for listening. Make sure to go out and subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, whatever audio podcast app you use. There's plenty of them out there, and I think we're on a lot of them. But you can also find us on the Podbros Network at podbros.com with a bunch of other great podcasts. And you can also follow us on Twitter at TheLNGamers. And make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. I think our YouTube numbers have been going up a little bit, so that's good. Nice. And I think is that everything? Yeah. Visit lngamers.com. Check out all of our writers' stuff, because They do actually put a lot of work in, and it's that's what they're looking for, feedback from readers or anybody like you. So thank you,
Good
everybody,
stuff.
again. It is. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Charles. I'm Nick. This has been Late Night Gamers podcast. Late Night Gamers podcast. Episode number 145. And next week we're becoming the gamers.
Oh, goodness.
It's me every time, legitimately. Should do a whole podcast episode like that.
Gamers. It's the gamers.